Let us start with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhiriditam kalmashapaham Sravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, he is having the wonderful dialogue, conversation. Today we will go through that. The Sri Ramakrishna's, the conversation mainly with the Master Marsha, the recorder of this dialogue. So he is asking, the Sri Ramakrishna is asking, particularly that line I like to read, where he said, those who have a human body for the first time need the experience of sense enjoyments. I am reading from the page 504. Those who have a human body for the first time need the experience of sense enjoyments. In our last discussions, I was reading from the page 503. One gentleman asked me, I couldn't remember, couldn't tell him. Perhaps he is listening. And now, 503, we discussed the 7 steps of the devotion. And here, first the company of the holy person, then the Shraddha, the faith, then comes the Nishtha, Bhakti, Bhava, Mahabhava, then Prema, ultimately Vastulava, realization. So that is, and today Sri Ramakrishna is beginning the conversation after some other words. He said, first time, Pratham Manushya Janma, the first time taking the human birth. That means in different life, in different form, in different shape, we had experiences. And this is when someone is having the first human birth, a tremendous desire to enjoy these sense objects. And that is why you will notice, in other places so many thousands of people will go, but when there is a philosophical discussions are going on, pure religious discussions and the activities, very few people. Sometimes we wonder, and sometimes people, they come to me from different other organizations and they request me to give them some idea how to attract the younger generation, these and that. I told you, come over here and see how things are happening. Because this is the main reason. That's why I am reading this. The Sri Ramakrishna says the first time the people are coming in this way. So this will be naturally the Sri Ramakrishna, those who have a human body for the first time need the experience of sense enjoyments. Spiritual consciousness is not awakened unless certain duties have been performed. Spiritual consciousness, just to develop that spiritual consciousness, love for the higher spiritual life, you have to perform some actions. What are those actions? He has not listed over here. He didn't talk about that. But again, in different places, we know the spiritual life, how it goes, how it develops. What are the things we should have in the spiritual life? So, first and foremost, those 7 steps. Again and again he is telling that you have to go to a holy person and then you must listen to him. Try to understand that, removing your ego, then only it is possible. Again and again, the Sri Ramakrishna, whenever the people have asked how to realize God, first word he will use, Sadhu Sangha. And in the scriptures also, everywhere we find Satsanga, Satsanga, Satsanga. What is this Satsanga? The positive ideas about the spirituality. What is this positive idea and the ideas of the spirituality again? Where there is no connection of this name, fame and worldly pleasure. When we are constantly thinking about the higher moral values, that is spirituality, the spirit. And that is very, very rare. Why? Because of our past karma that drags us down. In some other times we will find Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example. There's some of the animals, the children in the villages, they will tie a heavy stone, and that animal trying to go inside the hole, but again because of the weight coming back, coming down. His mind is just like that. Name, fame, all this comes from the ego. And ego is nothing but, the I consciousness is nothing but reflection of the pure consciousness on our buddhi. All these details are there. Even then, the I never goes. Always we think I, and that is all complication. So Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning in these. Then spiritual consciousness is not awakened. So we must try to imbibe the very first thing. What is that? God is there. Or the consciousness is there. You know, in Hinduism always they try to approach through two different paths. One, the devotional path, another, the path of knowledge. Those who can understand that, practice the path of knowledge, where they will say, I am that consciousness, and okay, for them the path of consciousness, and he will say, oh, in my intellect, the reflection of the consciousness. So I don't belong to this body. This body is not mine. My mind, all these thoughts and cognitions are not. So who am I? I am that pure soul. Those who can think in that constantly, it's okay. And those who cannot, they take another route, and that is devotion. And what is the devotion? God is there. It becomes easy for us because somebody is there. So Sri Ramakrishna, and he is asking his disciple. And here, this is very interesting. Sri Ramakrishna never could think that I, the ego, he couldn't recognize that it is I. He used to say it. This body is a it. As if it is something else. It is not he. That's Sri Ramakrishna, and very curiously asking question about himself to his disciple. And who is the disciple? Master Mahasaya, who is recording the conversation. He is asking these questions to Master Mahasaya. Well, what do you think of my state of mind? So what is my condition? He is asking to his disciple, Master Mahasaya. Why he is asking? He wanted to understand or to know the capacity of Master Mahasaya, how much he has understood him. When we go to some person, either most of us, majority of us, out of emotion, we think all that out of emotion, or sometime when other people are talking about him, we also carried by that thought. Our pure original analysis, thinking about the person is very less. When somebody will say, you know that Swami, his father was a very, very rich person. They were having this business, that, and he has left that and he has come. immediately we start thinking it's a great soul. Because we associate it with the wealth and the name and fame of the particular family from where that particular Swami is coming. We don't judge about his behavior and his thought processes. No. So that is, we are carried out because of different things. It's very difficult to judge a person. And Sri Ramakrishna never asked this question to anyone else except this Master Mahasaya. And there is another reason also. Master Mahasaya is going to represent Sri Ramakrishna through words. Because Sri Ramakrishna is present now with us through his words. And that should be presented exactly as it is, and understanding what he meant for this, meant by this. And that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is asking. Aim reply is really, really wonderful. He is telling, on the surface you are very simple, but inwardly very deep. It is extremely difficult to understand you. That is true. It's called Sahaja. The people who are apparently Jesus Christ. Very simple. Apparently. Sri Krishna, when he is going and mixing with those people in the Vrindavan, so simple. He is dancing, singing, playing with them, talking with them. So many things are there. It's nothing, it's so simple. Swami Vivekananda, when he is mixing with his friends and known people, so simple. Ma Sharadamani Devi. The most of the time people used to think that she doesn't understand anything, we have to go and help her. So we have to help her. That way they used to think. Why? We find in the Bhagavata itself, it says the Supreme God is having two aspects. One, Para, P-A-R-A, Para. And another is Abara, A-B-A-R-A. The Para and Abara. These are the two aspects of the God. And what is Para? Pure consciousness, without any epithets, which is very difficult to understand. Only the Jnanis reaching up to the ultimate, then only they can understand. And what is Abara? Whole creation. This whole creation is his. In the Bhagavata, when we read the Vidura and Uddhava, the conversation, there we find Para Abaresho Mahat Amsha Yukto hi Ajopi Jatu Bhagavan Jathagni. I am quoting only one line, not the whole sloka. It says Para, Abara. Both are Bhagavans, the gods. What is this Abara? Mahad Amsha Yukta. Mahad Amsha means Hiranyagarbha. And that is called Prakriti. And from there all the creations comes down. So these are the two aspects. The one is completely different, completely detached, pure consciousness. And another is associated with Sattva, Raja, Tama, these three qualities, and then the permutation and combination of those three qualities, all different type of creations comes down, and ultimately whatever we see is nothing but that. So Bhagavata says it is like this. And it gives an example, Yathagne, the fire. In the wood there is fire. But apparently it is wood only. We don't understand. But fire is there. Otherwise you won't be able to burn it. So that are already there. Like that, it gives the last word, Yathagne. That means we, the human being, is also having that same capacity as the God is having. We have to understand that. So this first is the Para and another is Abara, and we see only Abara condition of the God. How we will know what is that Para? So Master Moshe is giving that answer. Oh, on the surface you are very simple. But because Abara, he is talking, he is inquiring, just like all ordinary human being. But inwardly, very deep. And then Sri Ramakrishna smiled and they say, true. He said, true. That means the Master Mahashaya, whatever the assessment about this Sri Ramakrishna is admitting it. It's true. Then he is going out. There he met Latu Maharaj. Latu Maharaj is one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Afterwards, he got the wonderful sannyasa name Adbhutananda. It's a wonder, the Adbhuta. So that Master Sri Ramakrishna noticed him, that boy used to live with Sri Ramakrishna in the Dakshineshwar. He is asking, why do you look so sickly? He is staying with Sri Ramakrishna. Now this is the responsibility of the Guru to look after the disciples also, whether they are on the right path or not. So why do you look so sickly? Then he is telling, I can hardly eat anything. Is that the only reason? Are you meditating too much? So he is asking this question. When too much of meditation, he forgets about maintaining the body and doing other things. So slowly this thing happened. Sri Ramakrishna, he never encouraged. So suddenly some people will start practicing too much of meditation, too much of austerity. No, that can't help. You have to go normally, slowly. And then step by step you should develop. That's why he is asking. Then slowly the Sri Ramakrishna is asking to him, I have a request to make you. Please tell Baburam to stay with me a day or two during Rakhal's absence. Rakhal means another disciple of Sri Ramakrishna who became the first president of course Swami Vivekananda, then afterwards. And this Raja Maharaj, known as the Raja Maharaj, and this Raja Maharaj, his picture is here, about him, because Raja Maharaj also started practicing a long time meditation. So he is asking another disciple to come and stay with him, slowly, slowly, helping them to develop in spirituality. Yes, sir, I shall tell him. The Ramakrishna asked him whether he thought that Baburam was guileless. Why he is asking this? The Master Mahashaya, he was a teacher. So naturally, he had the idea to understand the mentality of the younger generation. Sri Ramakrishna wants to have his opinion. So he is asking, the guileless? Presently the master left them, going to the direction of the pine grove, and after a few minutes, Aim and the Latu standing at the Panchavati. Here, the Master Mahashaya is describing how he saw Sri Ramakrishna as the God himself. That is the realization, that is the feeling. Latu and Master Mahashaya were waiting, and at the back, when the Sri Ramakrishna was coming back, they found Sri Ramakrishna. When at the back, there's a black cloud, and that is reflecting on the water of the Ganges. And the wonderful circumstances. And there they saw the white clothed Sri Ramakrishna approaching. They didn't see him as Sri Ramakrishna. They saw the God is approaching to them. So that is his personal realization. Sri Ramakrishna returned to his room and sat on the small couch. Then the Hajra Mahashaya came. Hajra used to stay very close to Sri Ramakrishna, almost the outside of his room. And those who have read about Sri Ramakrishna, you know this character. Hajra, he also used to practice spirituality, read a lot of spiritual books, particularly scriptures, but he had tremendous ego. Just like any other, the ordinary people who always think that I have read the scripture and I know much better than anybody else, etc. etc. This Hajra, he was there and he came and he was telling, look at this Navai Chaitanya from Kurnagar. Kurnagar is the area. From there the Navai Chaitanya. Though a householder, she has put on a red cloth. Red cloth means the geru. The householders are not supposed to, because you have to lift the hearth and all. That is the tradition. Recently I went to, we go very frequently, almost in every 2-3 months, to have that the religious discourses. And there they were asking me, they are all, what's called that, the rabbi, and he was asking, one of the devotees, she was asking me, why this color you are wearing? What is the significance of this color? This is the color of renunciation. And this renunciation, how to describe? I have taken the life of renunciation. In India, no one will wear except the monks and sannyasis. If you are a householder, if you are doing something of the worldly things, you are not supposed to wear it. Of course, it is available in the market, you can purchase it, but you are not supposed to. That is the tradition. The moment you are putting it on, you are not supposed to stay inside the house, maintaining a family, having the business, earning money. You are not supposed to. And some people, sometimes they do, they have the respect, but still, and they have the likings too, but they are not supposed to. So here we find that Hajra is pointing to Nava Chaitanya, Navai Chaitanya, and he is telling that he is householder. Sri Ramakrishna's comment at this moment, he said, what shall I say? I clearly see that it is God himself who has assumed all these human forms. In the highest, the spiritual condition, when you look at this, it is everything is nothing but God. He says, I see God himself who has assumed all these human forms. Therefore, I cannot take anybody to task. Narendra is again involved in lawsuit. Hajra is reporting. And that conversation is going on. The first that Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot say anything. Why? Because he cannot see anyone except God. As a condition of that you find in the Ramayana, the Hanumanji, he could not see anything but Rama every time, all the time. The same thing, ultimate realization of the Jnanis, what they see? Chaitanya, consciousness everywhere. And of the devotees, God everywhere. So this is the ultimate realization. At that time, they cannot find any defects, any difficulties. Everything is good. God is doing it. Why? Para, that condition of God is pure consciousness. He is completely inactive. But Abara, that is the God is becoming bad people and God is becoming good people, and the bad people in the God in the form of bad people is now giving trouble to the God in the form of good people. This things goes on. For us, we think is a bad person, why God is helping? Not helping or anything. It goes on, the God goes in this way. And this is called Leela, the creation. It is so difficult to understand. The moment we can understand it, what happens? We become completely free from anxiety. And that is called Jivan Mukta condition. In this life itself, we are completely free. We will come to that particular chapter where Sri Ramakrishna is discussing about that, how to live completely unattached in this life. Sri Ramakrishna said like that, but again he comes down and giving the example of Narendranath. Hajra, he said, again he is having the litigation. after the passing away of the Narendra, means afterwards Swami Vivekananda, when his father passed away, all his relatives as usual, they tried to grab the property, and Narendra, being the eldest son, he was going to save that property to give it to his mother and brothers, sisters, so that they can survive. So he was going to court and all that. So when that was reported, Narendra is again involved in a lawsuit. Now listen to the comment of Sri Ramakrishna. He doesn't believe in Shakti, the Divine Mother. If one assumes a human body, one must recognize her. This is the great statement. We sometimes ignore the Shakti, the power of God. The one lady, she was informing Sri Ramakrishna, Master, I am going to a pilgrimage. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna asked her, did you inform to Ma Saradamani Devi? She told no. Oh no, you must go to her. Tell her that you are going to those places, holy places. Take her blessings. Then your journey to the holy places will be beneficial. So we go, as a tourist, if we go and take the camera and then snaps and all that, this is separate. But if you are going for the development of the spirituality to a holy place, you must take the permission and the blessings of the Shakti. So Shakti means not disassociated from the God. They are the God's power, but in a different form. That is the Hindu way of understanding. The God with pure consciousness and God with activity, and that is Shakti. Now Narendra, having the human body, is denying it. Why? Not understanding this thing and having problem. Narendra was in an Hajra. Narendra says, if I believe in Shakti, all would follow me. When he was very young, even that time he was a leader. So there he was having some friends and followers. If I believe the others, why he mentioned like that, Narendra? Because in the whole society at that time, if you read the history of that India at that time, a movement was going on to constantly telling that all the gods and goddesses of the Hindus are useless, worthless. They're all imagination. Nothing is going to happen. Because the British was ruling. So obviously some other people in the group of the religious people, they used to, not only that, almost in the street corners, they used to stand and they used to abuse the Hindu gods and goddesses. And that was a terrible condition. People were afraid. Because if you go and tell them anything, immediately the police will come, the government will come on you, and you will be harassed by them. So people used to only avoid them. But the young Narendra is to go and fight with them. Whenever there will be someone criticizing the Hindu gods and goddesses, the young Narendra used to go and over there itself, he will be having the conversation and denouncing him too, that you are false, you don't know, etc. He was very courageous. But he was not going to Kali. Why? Because he was thinking, and that was the idea, and it is very difficult to go beyond that. When a thought is going on, almost all people, we are carried out with that thought. And that was, how can you worship a lady who is killing others and having the heads at the girdle, Goddess Kali? The most of the people, even today in India, some of the people, they will never accept Goddess Kali. And all is depicted that it is terrible, it is terrible, it is terrible. In the Indian movies, if you see something wrong, some fighting, there will be Goddess Kali in a very bad form they will depict. And not understanding. Goddess Kali is the goddess of knowledge. But that we will discuss some other time. I have talked many times. This is the mistake that the Narendra he did, and Sri Ramakrishna's word, Narendra, but it is not good for him to go to the extreme of denying this Divine Mother. So we have to take the blessings of the Divine Mother, constantly praying to her. He is now under Shakti's jurisdiction. Shakti's jurisdiction. As long as we are having I consciousness, I associated with this body and mind, we are under that jurisdiction of the Shakti. Sometimes it is said Maya. In the Vedanta, they will say Maya. Sri Ramakrishna said, under the jurisdiction of Goddess Kali, Shakti, the power. The Shakta, they always follow that Shakti. And it's true. We cannot simply deny it. Sometimes some people, they talk about Raman Maharshi. Oh, Raman Maharshi denied it, he never followed it. But look at the condition of the Raman Maharshi from the beginning of his life. When he was a young boy, his condition was very high in the spiritual life. That means he has already completed that. All those things he has completed. Then in this life, he has started from there. And without doing anything, if I try to be like him, what will be my condition? I won't be able to do. So everywhere, a singer, accomplished singer, Lata Mangeshkar, say, I don't know the name of this country, singers. In India, Lata Mangeshkar is very, very famous. Even today, wonderful songs. Okay, Lata Mangeshkar in one day? Rome was not built in a day, we always say in English. That means you have to prepare yourself. And for the preparation, very first thing is understanding there is Maya, there is power, and that is why under the power of the Maya, I am deluded and I am thinking this body as I. That is the first wrong thing that I am doing. I have to overcome that. But this is the condition present. And what to do? Begin with one thing. First faith and second prayer. First faith, God is there. And then prayer, oh God, oh Mother, oh Father, in whatever way you like to call God. Please help me, please help me, please help me. Otherwise it is very difficult. All the actions that we did in the past, the result will come now. And I have to suffer or may enjoy a little bit. So this goes on. And this is the only way to go out of that, praying to the Mother, praying to the Shakti. Please hold my hand. Keep me on your lap and guide me. How should I go? How should I develop the spiritual life? That should be the prayer. And have you seen Narendra lately? He is asking to the Master Maharshi. No, during last few days I didn't see. See him and bring him here in a carriage. He is asking Master Maharshi as an ordinary teacher. Why? Because he knew who Narendra is. So he is asking Master Maharshi, don't think that he is under the influence of the Maya. That I will take care. Bring him here. And Master, what about the Bhavanath? Would he come here so frequently if he didn't have any good tendencies? One after another, he is just mentioning. But immediately we have to understand why he is mentioning this. And another young boy, he is a friend of Narendranath. His name was Bhavanath. He used to visit Sri Ramakrishna very frequently. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling Master Maharshi, would he come here so frequently if he didn't have good tendencies? This is the point to note. Good tendencies. If we don't have the good tendencies, we won't be able to read holy books for a long time. Try to read a holy book for an hour. You will be, oh my God, eyes are paining, it is not possible to read, I am not understanding what they say, like this will go on. But if you read some other books, some story books, immediately we can complete. I saw in the flight when we go, so many people are doing, mostly nowadays in computer, these, that. Sometimes some people are reading books, some story books, and they will, 2 hours flight, they will complete the whole book and leave the book over there itself. But ask them to read some holy good book, they won't be. Why? Tendencies. And what is those tendencies? Past impressions. You will never feel joy. Some of our Swamis, they start with Panchadashi when they are very young. Can you imagine? The highest philosophy, they are liking that highest philosophy, they are reading that philosophy when they are very young. One Swami, I was talking with him, Swamiji, he was instructing me, you should do this, you should do that. He is a very senior Swami. And I told Swamiji, whether you were having the friend? No, I like to meditate a lot. And so I used to practice meditation after coming back from the school. My only game was to meditate or to do puja or to sing bhajan. Do you think it is just in this life? And if I start with him in that level, is it possible? The past lives, the tendencies. What are the tendencies? Impressions from the past life that we are carrying. So now we have to understand, I have to judge myself. Other people, they may say something, or we can project in some other way before others. Most of the people, they do like that. So the hypocrisy is much more in religious life. Whatever they say and they behave, actually it is not, maybe not in their mind. Why? Tendencies, that impressions. And it says in this way that Bhavanat Kam, why do you know? Good tendencies. What about Harish and Latu? They always meditate. Why is that? Harish and Latu, Harish also a young boy, and Latu, we know Latu Maharaj, and he was a servant, uneducated boy. He used to serve in somebody's house for money, but afterwards he became a great saint. And they meditate. Do you think meditation is so easy? We go and pay $10 and then meditate, and in the course of meditation and this meditation, that meditation, and they'll be constantly telling that have attention on the air that you are inhaling and you are exhaling, and that way this, that, so many ways. But meditation means completely different thing. Controlling of your past impressions that is floating in your mind. The moment you close your eyes and try to withdraw your mind from the surrounding, what happened? Immediately the storehouse open up and all this start coming. So that is so difficult. And Latu is meditating so much that his guru, Sri Ramakrishna, asking him not to do that so much. So this is the tendencies. And Master, possibly you are right. Perhaps others may take their place now. And this Master means Sri Ramakrishna. Why he mentioned like that? He was asking these boys, after they came to serve me, but now they are slowly developed in the spiritual life so much. They don't have the mind to do anything. So you better bring some other young boys known to Sri Ramakrishna so that they will take their place. If you notice, if we have truly the God's work, not my ego and my work, you will find a person is going away, another person is coming to help you. And the person who came to help you, after doing some work, very unfortunately develop ego and they go away. So this way it goes on. In our lives also we have seen so many people. Friends, you won't believe, in Andaman where there was no one there, one after another, they came and they helped me to develop a huge institution. When I wanted an engineer to guide me to construct a building, one engineer came. When I wanted a person to help me to appeal to the government and other organizations for the fund, same type of people came, one after another. And to maintain the asrama, to develop this, to develop that, one after another. They came, they did, and they left. When the time came, another person came. And this is true. I have seen it in my own eyes. It has happened in my life. So if you have got any opportunity to serve Sri Ramakrishna, the purest of the pure, don't leave that opportunity. Don't ever allow your mind to be crowded or clouded with ego. Oh, if I don't go, I don't like to go over there, I will stop like this. No, not ever. So this Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling that these boys, they came, they are not leaving, but they have elevated in the spiritual life, so other people will come. Hazra now left. Sri Ramakrishna and the Master Masha. Does what I say in the state of ecstasy attract people? He is asking the Master Masha. Oh yes, very much. What do people think of me? Do they think anything in particular about me when they see me in that condition? We feel in you a wonderful synthesis of knowledge and love and renunciation. Synthesis of knowledge and love. Here we find in the Dhyana mantra of Ma Sharadamani Devi, Sakroda Nasta Hastancha, Sakroda Nasta Hastancha. Your both the hands are now resting on your own lap. And both the hands means Jnana Bhakti Pradayini. Jnana and Bhakti. The both we get from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. This is the uniqueness. As because I am a monk of the Ramakrishna order, I am telling you no. If you read his life and his teachings, you will feel that. So many people are now coming and joining this order. We don't have any machineries to propagate. Some of the organizations, they can propagate so wonderfully. Thousands of people, they know their names. But Vedanta Society is here in America, the oldest Hindu religious organization in America from 1893. But how many of the people they know us? Very few. And if you go to other places, they are crowded. But here, very few. Why? The pure spirituality is very difficult to get attraction because you need good tendencies. And a very handful of people, those who come over here, stick to this. If you look at their life, you will see how wonderfully they are developing spiritually. So this, what Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, and he is asking, do they understand this? Then Sri Ramakrishna is asking, there is a sect in Vrindavan known as Ghoshpara, etc., etc. They always say that, have I any ego? He was describing about the Ghoshpara. I am not reading that because time is very short. I am going to the main questions. Sri Ramakrishna is asking his disciple, Master Mahashaya, have I any ego? And look at why he asked Master Mahashaya. If you read the answer of the Master Mahashaya, you can understand how clear his idea was. He said, yes, sir, a little. You have kept it to preserve your body and to enjoy divine love in the company of the devotees and impart spiritual knowledge to them. So this is the clear idea. Unless and until we understand the Sri Ramakrishna in this way, we won't be able to develop our spiritual progress. And that's called the pure knowledge. Again, Sri Ramakrishna is asking, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, no, I have not kept it. It is God Himself. So this is the answer. No, I have not kept it. When they asked Ma Sharadamani Devi when the Sri Ramakrishna passed away, they, what was Sri Ramakrishna's actually mission? What he wanted to do? Mother told he was having no mission at all. He was just doing what the Divine Mother wanted him to do. But the main thing that I noticed, Mother is telling, there is a all religious path, combination of all religions, etc., etc. She said it may be that on the process of his sadhana it has done, but what I really noticed in his life, Mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi is telling, renunciation, tyaga, tyaga, tyaga. Not an iota of ego. That is Sri Ramakrishna. Can we imagine that I am without any ego? But some people, even in Chicago, one so-called professor, she has written a book on Sri Ramakrishna, you know that, criticizing Sri Ramakrishna. Some people are also, who are these people? How they will understand Sri Ramakrishna, the purest of the pure, who was not having any ego, and these people, they are the bundles of egos, and they are judging this in the human form, the purest form of the God. It is God who is doing all this. I don't know anything Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And Master Maharshi is suddenly asking another question. Is it true that Kali has become Krishna? If you go to Dakshineshwar, you will find it's a beautiful, in India, those who are following the Krishna, they will never look at Kali. And those who are following Kali never think of Krishna. But the place where Sri Ramakrishna practices spirituality, in Dakshineshwar, both the temples are side by side. And Sri Ramakrishna started his worship first in the Sri Krishna, and then he went to Kali. And Master Maharshi is asking this question, is it true? There's some people, they say, Sri Ramakrishna, who never read anything, immediately mentioned, it is in the Devi Bhagavat. There's a huge book, Devi Bhagavat. And there they say the Kali herself became Krishna. Now, let us go to this. Aim remained speechless when the Sri Ramakrishna mentioned God is infinite, and infinite are the ways to reach Him. Whether Krishna or Kali or knowledge, all paths are leading to the same goal. Only if you are having the ego, you are stuck. You won't be able to move. Aim remains speechless. This is also we should notice, because aim is just like us, trying to develop spirituality, but much, much advanced. Why? He immediately realized this. All paths are leading to the same goal. It's very difficult to understand. If you go to any person, we invited one person to give a talk over here. You know, the Ramakrishna Mission in Vedanta Society, we always accept that all paths are leading to the same goal, as because our mentors, our masters, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Ma Sharada, they always talk like that. So we follow. Here also you'll find the picture of Jesus on the same level of our God, Sri Ramakrishna. And there, the Bhagavan Buddha. So this Master Maharshi, he understood it immediately. Other people can't understand that. This is why you have kept these pictures. Narrow sense of understanding. They think this is the spirituality. No. The moment you are thinking very narrow way, the New Zealand things happen. Because they are constantly thinking, just by killing some innocent people, do you think that you will be able to eradicate that philosophy? It is not possible. So how to understanding this way only, that we are all leading to the same goal. I am going in my own path, and I say always, go in your own path. I have all best wishes, good wishes to you. And Master Moshe understood it. Sri Ramakrishna is acknowledging, it is through the grace of God that you have understood that without His grace, doubt is never cleared up. We need to understand here, there are two types of things. One is buddhi, the intellect. Another is dhi, also intellect. But to understand the subtlest thing in the spiritual life, it's called dhi. And when we understand the many other things, some of the people in the worldly life, they are so intelligent, they understand so many things. And they know, that one gentleman was there, he was telling, if you give your money to me, I will make that money double and more than double. I know the processes, and this way, that way. And truly, he was almost impressed me. But anyway, I can't give the money to him. That way, he is a really very intelligent person. But I was not understanding anything what he said. But I said, it's that organizational money I cannot use. But thank you for giving me that advice. They know so many things. But tell them about the God or the spiritual life, they will just ask questions like the children. Do you believe in God, sir? That's the first question. So this is the way we always think, why Dhi is not there. Buddhi is there. And Buddhi can give you many other ideas, many other things, but unless and until you are having the Dhi, that is also another type of intellect, but it understands the subtlety of the religion, the subtle truth. What is that? All paths are leading to the same goal. And then Sri Ramakrishna said that the important thing is somehow to cultivate devotion to God and love for Him. This is one. Important thing to cultivate the love for God, devotion for God. And second, he said, but a Jnani can live unattached in the world. The two different ways. First is devotion. Whatever I see is God's. Good, bad. Sometimes I am suffering. God wished that, so I am suffering, no problem. And I will have to go for the respite to God only. God is giving me the punishment. And I should go to God again and say, please don't leave me in that way. Hold my hand. Whatever wrong thing I have done, you have punished, it's okay. Now you should please place your hand on my head. That is the devotional way. And complete faith, God is there, and if I pray, if I cry, as my parents are giving me that comfort, the God will also come and give me the comfort. Surely, why not? And the other way is, a Jnani can live unattached in the world. When we read the Karma Yoga by Swami Vivekananda, whoever comes past, I always advise them to read Karma Yoga. Why? It is not Karma Yoga, it is the path of Jnana. Without work we cannot survive. We are doing work, different type of work. And we must have to do some work. Some of the newly married, the wives they come, the only complaint is, how we will live over here? We don't have any company, any engagement. Husband is going out at the 7 o'clock in the morning, returning back 7 o'clock in the evening. How I will survive? How many movies I will watch and pass my time? We need to work. But if we know the secret to do that work, you are free. And what is that secret? Unattached. And here we find the Yoga Vasishta, the greatest book of the knowledge. It says, Yasha Prabhitika Yashmai Hetu Naiva Bina Punaha Bhoga Iha Na Rochante Jivan Mukta Sauchyate. Sri Ramakrishna said, Jnani can live unattached in the world, Jivan Mukta. He is living at the same time completely free from attachment. When I think that this is my family, my husband, my wife, my children, and my society, I say, my. Go back again and ask yourself, who am I? Why am I attaching like this? We are living together, surviving together, okay? But some day will come when we have to say goodbye to each other. It is obvious. Look back to our own life when we were growing up, so many friends in the same locality, how we used to go to the ground to play, and so many things we did. Where are those friends now? And that way, slowly we are growing up and we are becoming alone but not lonely. Why? I have another company. That is myself. My company is me. I am sometimes closing my eyes and seeing myself within my heart, and that is the light inside me. And when I go to a holy company, holy book, and learn that it is true, and I see it, close my eyes, withdraw myself from the world, and I go back to myself, and that is called Jivan Mukta, the fame, the merit, and the wealth, the Yasha, Punna, Dhana. What I am going to do with that? Some people are going on collecting fund, money. What they will do afterwards? They don't know. Only they do not know that they won't be able to carry that fund along with them. They won't. But one gentleman who earned a lot of money, and I read in the newspaper, 35% of his own earning, a huge amount, he has given for the development of the poorer section of the society. He will be remembered by the poorer section of the society. And then next life he will be on the path of Buddha. Because he has given up all those. In all of our life, don't think that this is the only life. Don't think the first time you are coming to the Vedanta society. No. If you could know that in the past life also, so many good works we have done. And look at your own family. How many of them are coming over here? And if you go and talk about this, they will look at each other and say, see, look at this man, they are becoming mad. Even over here in America, if you are not going to the party, not going to this and that, people will look down upon you. Well, they are all backward people. No, you are advanced. But who will understand? We have to. Ko bandha. Kashyapa moksha ekam pashyat sadahisa. Ekam pashyat. I am talking about the path of jnana. Etat karoti yo nittam samukta na atra samshayaha. Shiva Shangita is giving this assurance. Not samshaya, there is no doubt. If you can see one in many, you are mukta. And you know, in Hindu conception, there are mukti, the liberation, two different types. If you are practicing spiritual life, after your death, you are free. You will never come back in the circle of birth and death. That is called Videha Mukti, Videha. When the body has gone, then you are liberated. Another called Jivana Mukti. Sri Ramakrishna is insisting you should be free in this life. Shankaracharya also insisting you should be free in this life. And Shankaracharya is telling that human birth is for that only. Enjoy the life. And how? Just by detached. Just detached. That's all. Nothing else. Whatever I want, I have got. And how much I can enjoy, I must do that. But after that, I don't have that attachment. Thank you, friends. This is the wonderful teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. If you have the devotion, then say, it is all gods all around me. And I am living with God. I am not alone. No loneliness in me. Every time I see some people, I see the God within. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but they are all gods. And if you have the path, that knowledge, discrimination is there, then you say, I am completely free. I am never is bounded by this. I am leaving you over here just as a tourist. In this world, I have come as a tourist. I don't have anything over here. I will go, I will enjoy, and no attachment in this. These two paths, if we follow, and we are going to get the joy, the peace, and happiness in this life itself. Thank you. Let us chant this mantra. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.